Many of you know I love music, and Ringo Starr had a great hit. It was called It Don't Come Easy. And how is this relative to September 2023 GTA real estate market? This is how it relates. The number of sales don't come easy. In fact, looking back at the market trends, the last 3 months, July, August, and September of 2023, have been the lowest number of sales in over 12 years. It is pathetically slow. In fact, for the first time since the global financial crisis, since 2008, 2009, that sales were actually 24% of active listings in a month. That's like a quarter, okay? Which is like really, really slow. And on top of that, we've got listings that since the beginning of the year have more than doubled. Listings at the beginning of the year were just a shade over 9,000. Now they're closer to 19,000, okay? I mean, it's incredible. This is the result, the compound effect of the government raising interest rates ridiculously rapidly, okay? And from 0.25% to 5% from March 22 of 0.25%, the Bank of Canada rate, to 5%, the Bank of Canada best prime lending rate that they lend to the Schedule A banks, in essence. And then the Schedule A banks put a spread on that to make their profit, right? So now we're looking at mortgage rates that are in the 6 to 7% range, depending on people's qualifications, right? So again, obviously the prime clients get the best rates, and obviously it depends on the term and the collateral and the covenant and all sorts of things, right? The government is doing the interest rate artificial thing because they want to control inflation. Inflation has been running rampant, and so now inflation's running lower, but it's still not in the 2% level, which is what Tiff Macklem wants it to be. He's the Bank of Canada governor, and he's the one that sets interest rates. The irony is that CMHC, whose mandate is to promote affordable housing, they've ignored the fact they have an artificial stress test since April 2017 of 200 basis points. So it's so much more difficult for buyers with less than 20%, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. You have to follow the CMHC math, the artificial math. So yeah, although your interest rate might be 6.5% that you qualify for, but you've got to qualify for 6.5% plus another 200 basis points, which means you got to qualify on 8.5%, which means that your dream home is even that further out of reach. How is that? How is CMHC promoting affordable housing? They're not. They're asleep at the switch, and we have to stand up and challenge them to wake up and do something about that. That's number one. Number two, okay? Regardless of what the government does, CMHC, Tiff Macklem, who can't relate to the average Canadian, the one thing they can't stop is natural life events. What are natural life events? People grow up, they want their independence, they move out from the house, they meet somebody, they start a family, they need their own place. And 2/3 of them, on average, own, 1/3 of them rent in Canada. Pretty reliable statistic, year in and year out. There's not enough supply to accommodate the natural demand coming up. So why are sales going down? Because people can't qualify. Over 75% of first-time buyers, and by the way, first-time buyers represent 40 to 50% of the market in any given year in the GTA. Very reliable. If they can't actually penetrate by getting into the market, then the market obviously has a big hole in it, a big vortex. And so we've got this gap. So then they go back to family, which typically means their parents and their grandparents, and they say, hey, can you help me out here by giving me more for the down payment and or being a co-signer on the mortgage loan? Not all parents can help them out because their ratios don't work, or they don't have enough financial wherewithal to make it work. The point I'm making is that people are finding creative ways to make it work. Even though September was abysmal in terms of number of sales, prices still went up marginally. Mind you, pretty good though, considering the last 3 months before that were all negative. September prices went up 3.41%, which basically offset August, which was down 3.21%. So the average prices in September were $1,119,428. Okay, that's a $36,932 increase from the month before. That's good news, because ultimately it still shows natural life events will push up the average prices. Why? Because I just explained, most people want to own versus rent, because you control your destiny. You can build equity by owning your home. Otherwise, you're at the mercy of the landlord. And we know how much fun that isn't. Just ask people whose rents have come up and didn't have rent controls. I mean, they're screaming in agony and pain, and I feel for them. I really do. Okay, so if you're a seller, what can you do to make sure your house sells? You have to be better than average. There are ways and systems to attract qualified buyers, and we keep on re-engineering ourselves to do that. So reach out to us to find out more and find out about our performance guarantees, where literally we take the risk off your shoulders and we put it on us. And if you're a prospective buyer, find out how we can navigate the difficult challenges for financing and still find you the home of your dreams and help you build equity and help you achieve the lifestyle and the freedom that you want. Remember, Actus Real Estate Group. Talk soon. Peter Mazzuchin. Have a great one. Thank you.